Thank you for kind introduction and giving me this opportunity to share my image today. My name is Seong-Jin Kim from Sarah Fresco Lab. I'm very interested in female reproductive system, particularly in how the peripheral nervous system can modulate the female reproduction. Among the many aspects of the female reproductive physiology, I'm very interested in the female reproductive transitions. Across the life, there are three major transitions. The first, the reproductive system starts with the puberty, and then it needs to maintain their reproductive function for many years, and then it ends at the menopause. Here, I want to ask one question. Did you actually notice when your puberty started or finished? Probably not, right? So even though most people do not realize this transition, somehow the body regulates them precisely. So, however, we don't still understand how does the body sense and regulate the timing of the reproductive transition. I'm very interested in this fundamental question, and I'm expert in the neuroscience, so I want to explore with the neuroscience with this kind of reproductive biology. Over the last decade, many studies have revealed important body-brain communications. So, including the breathing, baroreflexes, and also some insulin secretion, of course, some nutrient sensing from the gut. However, the reproductive physiologies remain a major blind spot in this framework. So I believe that some of neural fibers are very important for the reproductive transition or reproductive physiologies. As a first step, I wondered that the reproductive tract is actually innervated by the nerve fiber or not. So I performed the whole organ clearing and the staining of the female reproductive tract. So when I stain with the neural marker here shown in the green color and magenta, as you can see, there are so many neuronal fibers are running throughout the whole reproductive tract. Looking more closely here, so here is the ovary and oviduct and uterus area, and of course the lower part of the reproductive tracts are all innervated by the nerve fiber. So, however, the functions of these fibers are largely underexplored. So I think some of these fibers could affect some reproductive physiologies. So I'm currently want to find what function do they have. So here is my idea from my talk. Yeah, actually the reproductive tract should tell something like that. Hey brain, it's time to begin, maintain, and end our reproductive states. And then your brain need to give a feedback for their female reproductive state. So for more than 8th century, the hormones are known for the main signals between the reproductive tract to the brain. However, they have some limitations because the hormones travel throughout the blood. It means that it is relatively slow, and then they can affect everywhere in the body, not specifically for the reproductive tract or the brain. In contrast, the neural pathway can provide much faster and more targeted communication. So I think some of neural pathways are very important for the reproductive physiology. So I can explore some missing mechanism in the field of reproductive biology. So this is my end of my presentation. Actually, I'm very happy to share my image because this image is my first step of my research. So please stay tuned my future research. And thank you for all my lab members and our funding sources, and especially my postdoc advisor, Sarah Prescott. Thank you.